We got him. We had you fooled there, didn't we?
Dude.
If plans go as plans went, we clickbaited you really bad.
You honestly thought.
Did you really think that we were
You
just going
honestly thought.
to feed into your personal opinion of the show is great
not
and
a part-
everyone's just being way too harsh?
Dude, we are
No.
outside
No.
of the matrix. We are not part of the hive mind.
The hive mind. No, the hive. Well, most of the hive mind is turned on the show, to be fair. But point being, you're still living in denial.
No,
So-
the people who were in the hive mind are out of the hive mind now.
Yes.
So this is a message to the hive mind.
So no, the point being, a lot of people will very much go along with it. The same people that go, no, it's good. Like everyone has a breaking point with these things.
Yeah.
Mine was first like 2 episodes
Of season 5.
of season 5 were my breaking point, but I did keep going after that.
What was your first breaking point?
Just a lot of dumb stuff happened in episode 2. I mean, episode 1 had some too, but I thought it was just the show was. We'll get into it.
The
We'll get into
clunky
it.
start.
Yeah, but turns out it's all clunky. That was a hard truth.
Yeah. The whole season.
That was a.
I didn't
that was
like
a
season 4
weird
either, but at least
realization.
season 4 was cohesive.
I like going from season 4 straight into 5. It is shocking how much is like lost there quality wise.
Uh-huh.
Like it's not perfect either. The other one's kind of a green screen mess. I was
Like,
talking
I
with
kind
Connor
of-
last night. Like it's still very much a Marvel movie, that 4th season, like as compared to the original season. Like, but there's a lot in there. And you
Holy.
mentioned I think
you
it was
see
either
that?
you or Connor mentioned especially the actress for Max. She did a lot of heavy lifting in 4, just because they gave her a lot to do. But at the same time, it's like
Well, because Sadie Sink is an actual star that's coming out of it. Millie Bobby Brown is not quite.
she had a
People-
period of time where she was in a lot of things.
The
It's just, I
Hive-
don't know how well
listen,
it's gonna work.
The hive mind. The hive doesn't like Millie Bobby Brown, bro.
The Hive.
The hive doesn't like her lips, dude. The
The
crazy.
Hives.
Have you noticed? Did you notice?
The
her
lips? She's aging, dude.
No, she's not
Botox
aging.
looking.
No, she's not aging. She's
Botox
altering
maxing?
herself. Yeah, Botox maxing, dude.
Botox max.
Dude, say that 5 times fast. Botox max. Botox max. Botox. That I already failed.
Point is, this is a confrontation. If you clicked into this video thinking, finally, someone's got it right. No, sorry.
Stop. Get some.
Look, and we're going to tell you some even harder truths. It's always been kind of a goober show at the end of the day.
No.
They did start to...
Actually, hold on.
Whoa.
Put the
Let me
brakes
get
on.
to that point.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Now
It's
you're a
mostly
little
been
bit
a
too
goober
far
show. No.
outside of the mind.
It's mostly... Are you kidding? Like, okay,
Outside the hive, dude.
I'm not in the hive. That's the point. I'm going way too far out. I'm just saying what I
Hey,
think.
if that's under there, it's gonna sound terrible.
Okay.
Just put it on.
Let me-
See how I have it? Put it on the outside of something.
How's that?
I would put it right on your hoodie. Your hoodie.
I tried that already. Better.
Let me look. Yeah.
Better.
That's gonna be fire.
So
Fire by the fire.
we'll kind of go play by play a little bit. I had a feeling because I made so many notes that we're gonna have to I'm gonna have to try and either speed run through them or skip a lot of stuff.
I'm fine with
because
that.
we're gonna want to just talk
If you
as a whole.
you
of
really
the whole
prepared
thing.
for it, go for it, dude.
I want to go ahead and start
Alright.
just so we section everything correctly because I want to get all the context for it.
All right.
So, I tried watching the first thing I want to intro. I tried watching the whole thing, which was a total extra 6 hours of very, very much wanting to not do it,
Right.
only to
Like
find
for-
out
like force
that
watching.
all the arcs were out when I was watching. I'm like, wait, I thought I at least had a while before the last arc comes out. Telling me there's still like 7 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
You should have just secondhand viewed it, dude.
Well, the problem is we have a ton of people over for that party and stuff, and just I'd be sitting alone in the house watching a bad season of Stranger
Danker
Things,
things.
Danker Things. So, episode 1's simple enough, at least notes-wise, because we kind of briefly spoke on it already. But overall, so I got the main takeaways down. Terrible time skip, especially going straight from 4 to 5, and I
Yeah,
thought
they
I thought it might be a
was lazy.
specific thing with the episode where it's like the like it was so weirdly paced, like how they're very descriptive about like, well, this is what happened in between then and now, when they were ramping it up as if like, oh, things are happening right now.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking at the end of season 4 is like, I feel like you don't have a plan. You're just teasing at something that's like, you just see this big thing of smoke coming out of the ground, like literally like hell on earth. And you have our characters standing all heroically like they're about to go fight the final battle, sort of.
Meet Satan at the
Only
gates
for
of hell.
literally all that to disappear. Literally for all that to disappear. So that they can get another, like, oh my goodness, he's planning something. Let's make our plan. Let's make multiple plans. Let's throw things.
Let's do
Like, yeah.
Let's start doing crawls.
Henderson,
Start
I don't.
crawling around.
Oh yeah, let's do crawls. Let's survey one section of the town at a time whenever the government goes under. Which, by the way, Vecna can move from that section. He's not always in the same place.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I think
like,
they were at least looking
Well,
for
we
a
already
body.
checked G2. There's no way he could ever end up being in G2
They might have been
later.
looking for a body, too, though.
A body?
Bodies don't move around like that, from what I've seen.
Vecna?
Dead bodies. Dead bodies.
Whose dead body are they looking for? They weren't
Vecna.
originally. They were looking for Vecna to kill him.
I know, but
But Vecna's always on the
remember
move.
one of the things that they say is he's probably dead. Which he was almost dead.
They specifically say multiple times,
Because
if
I
I
don't know
find
if-
him, I won't try to kill him, I'll run away.
I don't
That
know how far
implying
you
he
got into-
lives. Well, I'm saying, yeah, but I'm going off of the limited knowledge that the characters had at the time as well. Vecna, they think he's alive and well and out there, and they're trying to go kill him. Assuming that he's going to stay in the same region of Hawkins when they finally get
In the
around to
Upside
searching
Down.
that part. In the upside down. My point, upside down Hawkins. Sorry. Anyway, but ton of problems in episode 1, and I thought maybe they were a fluke because it's like, okay, they thought of something to do for 5, and they had to have the one episode with all the awkward explanations
Yeah.
for how they got to this point.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, yeah.
Episode 2 was a special feeling of this is the whole show, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I remember it being
I
it
don't
started
remember
it started
episode
with
2.
more specific stuff. Like it was like when Nancy's parents are injured. A couple things all at once. Nancy's parents get
They
attacked
get
by the
molested by the
Demogorgons.
Demogorgon.
And your one chance to kind of kill characters,
Yeah.
which I have a feeling they don't have a role in the rest of the show, and yet they still did the thing where they kind of kept them alive. Even the dad. It's like, they're going to be fine. They're alive. And it's like, you cowards. Putting people in a coma, this kind of is the same case with Max a little bit. Putting people, can we establish that putting people in comas is kind of cowardly
Yeah.
for stories? You want the shock value or in some of the weight of killing off a character. I'm not saying you can't do it, but I'm so sick of it being like, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a cheat.
Like the way they ended The Force Awakens, Finn is in a coma.
I'd
And
say
he's
that's
in there
one of the
till the next
less bad
movie.
ones because you're expecting a lot from him moving forward.
You
Does that
get
make
nothing.
sense?
You
Versus
get
like
nothing.
you could say Max was starting to maybe have her time like finish. Does
Right.
that make sense? It would be really like impactful if she did. It would be really impactful to the rest of the people if she died.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, does she really have a big role in 5?
Who?
As in Max.
Max?
Something that's inherent to her
Yes.
and no
yes,
one else.
Yes.
Is
She
it?
knows how to navigate Henry's mind.
Oh, all right.
She knows his history because she lived in his head
Yeah.
for 2 years or whatever.
Okay.
She is
Fair
very
enough.
knowledgeable on how to navigate Henry's memories. What is real? What's fake? the different gateways between memories,
So
like that kind of stuff.
what I was gonna get
His
to.
weaknesses, like
Yeah.
as far as like his memories go and stuff.
Okay, that's still that. At least they have something to do with one
That's
of their
pretty
characters
decent. That's pretty decent.
in the scheme of all the
Yes.
characters.
Yes.
What
in
they
the
have
scheme
to
of
do.
everything in season 5, that was actually a pretty good. I don't like the execution.
But
Max
it's like,
is a
okay,
little
but you're
annoying.
doing something with this person.
Max was not very annoying.
You're taking advantage
in the
of the
last season.
scenario that you've put your character in at the end of 4 and bringing it forward instead of whatever the heck the rest of them were doing. I mean, you could say maybe Dustin's a version of that, but it's more so it's like, Eddie's gone.
Yeah, Dustin is a dude. Dustin's character was a victim of season 5. Seriously.
I don't know, dude. Anyway, so to start out slow, because I'll ramp this up, because after a while I began like to give up in some ways. Not with the notes, but like I just saw overall issues. But yeah, episode 2 begins, and like I said, you already have the thing where it's like, oh, the parents are kind of fine, instead of it being like, oh, our parents could our people we know and are close to are starting to get killed. Vecna's means business. Does that make sense?
Right.
That's
not
somewhat of
even-
the
not
impact
even.
of killing someone like
Karen
that.
doesn't
Well, you
die.
can't do that.
Ted doesn't die. And
Ted
a
doesn't.
Demogorgon literally does his worst to both of them.
Yeah.
Basically.
So,
Shy of eating them.
and what's it called? They're in the hospital, and Nancy's like panicking and feels so bad. And Mike is just standing there. I was staring at Mike the whole scene, like, these are your parents, dude. He doesn't
If
have
you watch
and
the
then
show,
even
though,
afterward,
going
he doesn't
back to
have.
season 1, Mike is so unattached from his parents.
Well,
That's like the point.
Well, the
It's
point
like
being
the
that he's
kids
all
are
up in his friend group as kind of the friend
hyper-independent.
leader. Like, I remember the general way that he would go about things, but like it does not translate well into literally anything. I don't know what his point anymore. But my point being, they can't even give him enough like
He's Elle's
they can't even give him
boyfriend.
reaction to his parents potentially both dying
Yeah.
brutally.
He's
It's
Elle's
all for
love
it's all
interest,
for Nancy.
and he's Will's love interest.
Yeah. For some reason, both the straights and the gays want Mike. Explain that to me.
He's just a
Explain that to
bisexual
me.
icon.
No. No. Jeez. I feel like he'd lose that battle to Vecna, dude.
You've
Stop.
seen those nasty videos of Will? The VR
Connor showed
videos
me.
of
I
Will?
think you showed me last night. So gross, dude. That's how I feel about the show, though. Anyway, and then I don't know, dude. I kind of gotta. Yeah, even Mike isn't worried about Elle having trapped herself in the Upside Down after that.
Yeah.
He has zero thoughts or things to say, but they give Nancy plenty to complain about as well.
Right.
I hate Nancy's
again-
role. Oh yeah, one of my notes here. Frick Nancy.
Frick Nancy.
Nancy-
Yeah, real.
Almost the entire show has been
Frick Nancy.
an anchor.
Since season 2.
Yeah, well, even from what I remember in season 1, I didn't care for her much.
Well, in season 2, she gets drunk at that party and says that.
Well, that's like a
Steve is
character
BS.
moment. That's like a character flaw. Instead of like you are the designated, like for some reason all the sexist people in the world gravitate towards you so you can slam dunk on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even in
But I
this
will tell
episode,
you- I
one of
will
the
tell you this.
doctors is so comically and like calls her sweetheart, the great crime of calling her sweetheart.
Yeah.
And then she gives him like literally like as he walks away, like the deadest stare like this, Harry. Like what Wilson does. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, we're doing this again? I remember all the Nancy Drew stuff. Stop, we get it. She's so cool. You gave her a shotgun. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like 110 pounds.
yeah.
She's
And 10 of the pounds is the hair, dude. The curly hair.
10 of the pounds is there.
Oh, you got me off track. What was I going to say?
I'm looking through the notes here,
Oh,
and it's all.
I was thinking
in the grand
about it.
scheme, it's such small things at first, but like it is stuff that to me I was like, wait, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like Lucas is like, did you know it's also almost in 4 days? It's the anniversary of when Will was first kidnapped.
Nothing to do with anything, dude.
Is it really?
It has nothing to do with anything.
God. But like the way he introduces it, as if like, oh my word, it's all coming back. Or like even when they
like any of us
when they
would
reintroduced
remember.
Hawkins' lab, and it was making me think of when they reintroduced that was, wait, you didn't like.
This was
I
not
feel like you would have
established.
checked here already.
Vecna didn't make moves on the anniversary.
It's like
always.
Vecna's hiding somewhere. Where do we go? It's like,
In
okay,
season
let's go to
2,
keys.
Vecna did
Instead
make-
of doing the stupid crawl, let's look at key spots that might have something to do with the Upside Down in the past. That might be a good place
Eddie's
to start first.
trailer,
Eddie's
Hawkins' lab.
trail. Hawkins' lab is like one of the first places you would go.
Literally, there was a gate the size of an elephant in there
Bigger,
for the longest. Yeah, bigger than that.
huge. First off, the way that the portals close, like, happens however the plot needs them to. Do you remember when the Demogorgon opens one big enough for an entire car to go through and doesn't close for like 30 seconds?
Yeah.
That's like
Retarded.
low on the list of.
But it was a cool scene.
Yeah. Why do you
It
hate?
was-
Why are you guys
it
haters?
was so cool.
Well, this goes to an overall point. Just to get straight to it, because I'm realizing all this here is just gonna kind of derail us. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll kind of get to that later. Let me go broad, sort of, just off of memory. Will's entire role in the
Is to
show
be gay.
is partially to be gay, but anything that isn't about being gay is gay anyway.
The gayer,
Oh, let me go to my exact
the gayer
notes.
Stranger Things gets, the gayer the show gets.
Let me look for my specific note.
Real ones know what I mean.
Well, I'll just go off of memory. I don't know what's gayer, Will's lust for men or his role in the show.
Ooh, that's a good. We should title the video that.
No. All of this is... Look, I'm bringing up the queer a lot, or we will be this entire time,
Ooh,
because it's
nice.
so prevalent in the show.
Dude, it's.
It is a major point that they love to focus on.
I know.
It's 100% relevant. I don't want to hear it.
It is relevant. That's why it's so weird that like, people are pissed. That
one of
people are
my
talking
one of my
about
notes was Chungus. Little did I know that kid would have more to do. It's Derek. You know what I mean? But my first
was funny.
my first note of episode 3
was
was
funny the first 10
Chungus
seconds he
because I
was in the
saw a
show. That was
fat
it.
kid. And it turns out he's the one that's been bullying everyone. Are you kidding me? You know what I mean?
And he instantly flips on a dime, and he's a
He
nice
does.
kid.
No, yeah.
Instantly.
As soon as the plot needs him
Instantly.
to be like compliant and listening and stuff like that. Yeah.
Stupid.
Hopper lost his balls again.
Hopper.
That's a tragedy. Even seeing him with the gut and the beard, like they're trying to hide it with the sweaters and stuff. It's like, look, we can tell it was because you were doing Thunderbolts, but all of your aura from season 4 is gone. It's all gone.
He was
For once, you were starting to feel like yourself again, like the good Hopper from like seasons 1.
season
and-
1, yeah.
Yeah.
Season,
Just-
even season 2.
I described it to Connor this way. He didn't get his balls back completely. He got one ball, single one, just one back in 4. And it's like, oh yeah, we got a good start. And then they took him away again.
They took 2 more away.
They took 2 more, -1 balls.
-1 balls.
-1 balls. That I give Stranger Things season 5 a -1 balls.
Listen, we rate our TV shows based on balls. So
2 balls up if it's a good thing.
2 balls up.
2 balls up for the God of War games. All right.
2 balls up for Fallout. 2 balls up for
1 ball up for Fallout for me at least.
2 balls up for Fallout. 2 balls up for Severance.
3 balls up for Andor. For me, actually, I might do 2, just because I don't want to break the rating system. I want to reserve 3 balls for stuff like Lord of the Rings. How about that?
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is 3 balls up.
3 balls.
Anyway, yeah, I don't like Nancy anymore. I don't like Hopper anymore. Will hasn't been good in a long time, but he's so prevalent now. But that isn't a substitute for character, or even if it is, it's a character I very much don't like. Mike might be gayer than Will. Millie Bobby Brown looks
is, dude, Millie Bobby Brown is her
and
own.
like-
She has her own. The problems with her, I think, is her as an actress.
I think you might be right, which is
It's
the
not
sad
the
part.
It's not the writing.
It's the sad
Millie
part.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't
That's-
like, but it's like, it speaks to like overall issues with the show. Is like, it's very much going through the motions, but in a way that I was like droning the whole time. It's part of why I didn't finish the show.
Yeah.
I felt like I was like, even if I can't see exactly where this is going,
This is
I
what I was
can't
gonna say
help
earlier.
but be I can't help but be semi-apathetic to how it all is going to go out, because the way we're getting there is not good. And this
Yeah.
goes to one of my main points that I noticed, especially getting to episode 4, which was their big, like, at least first arc payoff, is even though they had a ton of problems by itself, like, the point being it's hard not to be semi-entertained by a lot happening.
Yeah.
But it's like, I have a feeling that all this show, like, all you've done is everything else is semi-justification, lazy justification for the payoffs. The setup doesn't matter. The setup is
This is garbage.
rinse and
Absolutely.
repeat, and not well
That is
done.
true. Everything
It is
they
very
rehash things, they reiterate things, they say the same things over and over and over again.
Well, that's
in
because of the
every
secondary
episode.
viewing thing too. But you're right. It's because they also don't have much going on there. When in reality, they were kind of setting up for literally probably 3 more episodes in total at the end of season 4. There's not a whole lot you can do at this point, but they needed to make things or find things to do. They had to find the stupidest character conversations to have to try and remind people of every aspect of these characters, because it's been 10 years. Let me read you one of the. This made me laugh out loud. Can I read it to you?
Yeah. Read it.
This is Hopper's stellar monologue that he gives to Eleven before possibly teasing at him dying a few episodes later. All right, it's when she's patching him up because he got like jabbed in the side by a knife or something like that.
Yeah.
This is the sum of his. This isn't the whole conversation. This is the sum of it. I used to think I knew better than my dad. My dad signed me up for for the military. I was smarter than the sergeants, but I was also stupid. There's a fine line between stupidity and bravery. My daughter was brave. The bravest person I ever knew. Cries. I laughed. It was, at least I find that humorous. You got a
there's
lot of,
literally- there-
you have a lot of dialogue isms in
Dude,
there.
that
and then
starts with one point.
Yes.
Doesn't finish it, and then like starts another, and then doesn't finish that
Well,
one.
if it would get,
it's a nothing. It's
to
a
me, it's like I'm
nothing
recounting
statement.
everything that I just heard, because it was like, wait, hold on, what is this? And I have
It's
a feeling
like, how
this
do I
won't be
make fun
relevant
of
to
my
anything.
father, and then end it with my daughter was so brave.
Elle, you're reckless. I used to think I knew better than my dad. I'm just rereading it. He signed me up for the military. I was smarter than the sergeants, but I was also stupid. Generic phrase, fine line between stupidity and bravery. My daughter was brave, reminding everyone I had a daughter. The bravest person I ever knew. Literally starts crying on the spot. Like, I laughed out loud. Sorry.
But I don't. Well, you didn't watch the final episode. It kind of completes. I mean, we know that his daughter had cancer.
Yeah.
But wait.
It was me. I gave her cancer.
No, what happened was, so Vecna messes with Hopper in the final episode. Hopper sees a bunch of barrels of chemicals. It's herbicides that they used in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Right? And then he walks around the corner and his daughter is sitting there on the hospital bed saying, "You knew this would happen." Basically saying which was a real thing in the
Is all the chemicals that he
the
had
soul-
inhaled and got used to
he
possibly
was
transferred over to
ingested,
her and killed her?
exposed to. When she was born, she had defects where she got cancer. And he suspected that when he would have kids that would happen.
Yeah.
That's why he's so guilty about
That
his daughter
sounds
dying.
interesting.
I mean, that was cool. And then Vecna approaches Hopper, and they have like a
Does he do mind like mockery for everybody?
yeah.
Yeah.
Which they did something really cool. Okay, you want me to spoil it? Because are you gonna watch it?
Yeah. So, can I semi try and skim over the
Yeah.
rest of my thoughts to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
to my point, and then you can kind of
Yeah, perfect.
take the wheel.
Perfect.
A lot of it is down to like scene to scene stuff, but I'm trying to just generalize at this point.
Yeah.
Half the characters I want to die.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
Want to die, my bad.
Same.
The other half, I'm trying to figure out what they're trying to do with them, or there's some that I'm neutral on. Like Murray is barely in the show, but he had like one really good scene that I liked, and let me try and I didn't write it down, but it was when Dustin like wants like equipment or whatever, and he can't get everything for him, and he goes, Murray, this wasn't a Christmas list, and he's like, yes, it was. The fact that I was able to bring all this crap in through the third most like secure place on Earth compared to the White House in Fort Knox, it's a Christmas miracle, baby.
Yeah. He's always been a good character in this
So
show.
pucker up, grab some mistletoe, and kiss my jaw.
He's a good actor, though.
That's just a
the
single
diff-
good scene. You know what I mean? To me, at least,
and
I like
he's
that.
this character. He's always going to be this character. So it's easy to write him, kind of.
Well, yeah. To be fair, he's been consistent.
That's
He
what I'm
hasn't
saying.
gotten
But
more
it's
gooberish.
not. The reason he's consistent is because he's a simple character,
Yeah,
right?
simpler but effective. Like
I know,
I'm even
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
in
I'm
season
saying
2,
good writing.
This was the same guy in season 2, which you can say for more for that than a lot of the other characters.
This is another problem.
You're the same consistently like reliable character
Yeah.
ever since then.
This is another problem with refusing to kill off cast members and then continuing to add on is the more and more members to the party that you add, like the less and less screen time each of them can have, and
Yeah.
then the less we care about each character because
So what they do is
you're
saddle them
growing
up
distant from the OG characters, so you really don't care for them anymore, and then you really, really don't care for the new characters because they're new characters and we barely get any screen time, and all we want, it's like a cycle.
Yeah. So and it's just it helps with the fact that you have all these people sandwiching it. It does convolute it, trying to give them all at least somewhat little things to do, taking away from any of the main aspects you could have. Like I said, I was trying to think of how you could restructure. Like this is like focus on a few like core character interactions about the ones that really matter, like a proper Hopper and 11 one. Make that partially center, and just make everything else complementary to that. Make them work in a good way. You got to plan this out. You got to do it right. But point being, instead of like trying to juggle literally everything and dropping every ball,
Dude,
could you at least, you know what I mean?
every single ball.
Every ball. Anyway, and the problem with having all these people is not only does it just get too much and you have useless characters, but you have to give them all lines to say. So it's all sandwiched in these planning scenes, which, by the way, the dialogue overall in this show is atrocious.
Dude.
And no, I'm not even like even compared to season
Me
4.
off,
It's
real quick. I
it-
know.
no,
I
no,
know.
Like
I wanted.
I can't sugarcoat how bad the dialogue is. I showed you like one of the simple character scenes. Like I read it over of you. Like to them, they probably thought that was such a impactful core moment, and it's like that literally made me laugh out loud.
So what you'll realize is, I mean, if you ever watch the final episode, is they actually somewhat put effort into the final one, right? Obviously, it's the last one.
well, that's what I'm
But
saying
wait,
is all they care about
so
is
when they
payoffs,
have
not setup.
when they have those moments, so like that moment with Elle and Hopper talking about they have a real one that's really good. That's OG Duffer Brothers reveal, and the whole scene, maybe a few words are said. It's Hopper. Hopper drops his gun. He sees the barrels of the herbicides. He starts getting really upset. He turns the corner. There's his daughter. His eyes filled with tears. That's real writing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's not Hopper saying to Elle,
Do they have
I
to?
was exposed to herbicides in the war.
yeah.
I knew that my daughter would probably have cancer. She died. I feel really guilty about it.
And it's my
They filmed it
fault.
like an OG Duffer Brothers reveal scene.
A show don't tell. Use
Yes,
a
show don't
visual
tell. My
medium.
point is, their totally capable of writing good dialogue, writing good storytelling. The Duffer Brothers just didn't care. Did you
That's
know
I was
they
wondering.
outsourced
I'm
all the
watching
directing for this show? I think
that is
except for the-
semi-normal. That's normal, somewhat.
I
Is
know, but
because
my
you want to
point
be a
is,
short
they used to
showrunner.
be more hands-on. Is my point.
No, 100%.
Because
And I
they
don't know
cared.
if
They
it's
don't care
I don't
anymore.
know if it's like just a apathy or like to not wanting to fight with studios or a mix of both. But it's
They're
like
trying to
couldn't you,
get out
like,
of Netflix.
You know how
They're trying to get out of
valuable
Netflix.
like one
Sorry,
maybe,
I ripped one. My bad.
Maybe I wouldn't do that. Compared to every other media giant, Netflix is the only one you kind of want to be in good terms with. Warner Bros is friggin' dying. It's on its
They're going to
deathbed.
HBO, I think.
No, they're going to Netflix.
No.
They're really wanting them at least. Netflix has to
No,
pay
the Duffer
them.
Brothers are going somewhere.
No, no.
to
I
a
mean
different...
Warner Bros. I said Warner Bros. Not Duffer
Oh,
Bros.
oh.
Warner Bros. Is getting sold off, and Netflix might buy. Dude,
It was
Netflix is
already
going to have the
sold.
Lord of the Rings IP. That scares me.
Netflix, Lord of the Rings. Oh yeah, that's a travesty.
We'll see. I trust them more than Amazon because I
You
know
know what
Amazon
Netflix
can
is?
do.
Netflix is king of throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
Yes.
So you get the absolute most terrible atrocities to
Mm-hmm.
contribute to the film industry, but then sometimes you get a gem out of there. You start
True.
digging around in the piles of poo poo and you find a diamond.
That's things like
That used to
Stranger
be
Things
Stranger
spawned
Things.
that way.
That in Stranger Things was like the first diamond.
Yes.
And it was the diamond. It was huge. But the problem is the people who made the diamond didn't want to keep making more diamonds.
You know what's funny though is
They
I
wanted
think
to start new
because of some
things.
of those pillars they had, they stopped caring as much about the stuff that people were picking up on. I know for sure there's this show, I think it was called it was Mind something. I can't remember what it was called, but apparently it was really popular with people who saw it. It was like a really good like psychological like detective horror like serial killer type of thing.
I did watch a show. Did you watch that show?
I can't remember exactly what it's called, but apparently they canceled it after 2 seasons, and no one knows why. It's like, what? Why? Why?
It's some
what are you
kind of-
doing?
It's some kind of politics, probably. Not
Well,
literal
it's probably
politics.
from
it's
relying on the
corporate politics.
pillars that you're already doing, or thinking, no, that doesn't mess with that messes with the plans we kind of already had. We assumed that you would die out after 2 seasons,
Right.
but it was competent enough, and people liked it. I don't know anything about this, past that about the show, other than there's a lot of upset people that like a reasonably popular show just doesn't get a chance to like thrive because they don't need it to. The platform does not need to keep making this show. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
succeed, they're doing it despite. But it's like,
They
dude,
put out a show that I really, really, really enjoyed. It was called, and it's new. It came out 2025 last year, and it was called. The reason I don't remember the name is because it's kind of an unremarkable name, and it doesn't really fit that well with the show. But the show was very good. Oh, it was about in Yellowstone State Park. Wait, No. Which one is El Capitan in?
I don't know.
Yosemite State Park. Is it a state park?
Yeah.
National park, whatever. It's a ranger who
Ranger things.
ranger. It's almost like the first season of Stranger Things. It had some aspects like that because it didn't go this way, but I'm like, is this going in some kind of supernatural direction? And it wasn't. It was just good writing. You know what I mean? Like, holy crap, what is this? And it's just it's a park ranger who solves a murder, does all this. It kind of shows you the underground of the park's systems and how people take advantage of it and just live out. There's like communities out in the woods
Yeah.
that they know about. And then, you got a new ranger who doesn't understand the ways of the rangers or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, how come we just don't pick all these people up and drive them out of the park? He goes, we do that, and they just come back a few months later, and they set up somewhere else. He said, there's nothing we can
Yeah.
do. So, they don't admit this to the public, but they just let people stay out there, and they don't do anything because it's easier, right? And they go in, and the rangers, like, kind of pop in every once in a while and just go, hey, like,
Yeah.
make sure you guys aren't burning. I don't know. They, like, come in and they shake the place down every once in a while. But, like, that was one of those things where it's like Netflix was throwing crap at the wall, something stuck, and Leah and I, like, we're really engaged with the show, watching it in bed at night. You know what I mean?
Here's a great example of just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. Is giving Zack Snyder a ton of money to make them movies.
Oh,
Enough on that
tragic.
thought.
I
But you
kind of
notice
want to
how-
watch
do you-
Rebel
but,
Moon
like,
just so
I
that
just
I
wanna say,
understand.
did you notice how interesting Stranger Things season 5 is right now?
Psych.
That we're talking about
Psych.
anything else?
Oh.
In my notes, I multiple times said Nancy, freak Nancy. It was probably scene after scene of her just
Okay.
making me annoyed. The Demogorgons are like goons now. I don't like that as much.
I don't like it
really
either.
don't.
I liked it
I
better when they
really
were
liked
the-
when it came kind of properly came back in 4.
Yeah.
And that part of that was just a ton of setup they did for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was part of the promotional kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying like even the way they do it in the show is like, oh, this really means something. Like seeing a proper Demogorgon again. Like in it being something to be scared of. It's
And
a
it
known
was cool
thing
in
and
that
it's scary.
in that season. The Demogorgon is like emaciated and feral, and like
Yeah.
scared, and so it's like even more sinister. Like it's not as powerful as these ones in season 5 that come in and clap all the soldiers. You know what I mean? Like those
Yeah.
ones are like ripe and strong, and this one's
Yeah.
kind of like.
I
You know what I mean?
I
It's
noticed
scarier,
they seem to
to
be
me at
much
least.
stronger in this season.
But I think.
But at
that
the same time,
the
they're also
idea
more
is
gooberish.
that those ones are straight from Dimension X. You know what I mean? Like those are not ones that have been like.
That's information
Aura
I don't.
farming
I know
in-
exactly what you're
in,
talking about. I just didn't know
Upside
that's
Down.
what it was called yet. I'm not that far in. You know what I mean? They showed it at the end of 4. I know exactly what you're talking
I
about.
don't know.
Dimension
who-
X.
No,
I
no,
know. I know what
Dimension
you're
X
talking
has
about.
been something since season 4. Remember
Yeah.
when
No, that's what I'm saying. I've seen it. I know what you're talking about. I just didn't know they called it Dimension X.
it's in? They call it that
Oh, I must have missed that.
because before, I mean, in season 5 they rename it the Abyss, which is a stupid name. I mean, it works with the D&D.
James Cameron's
The
Abyss.
D&D like format for the show, it actually does fit, but Dimension X was way cooler in my opinion.
For a couple other things. Just to spitfire some. Whenever the characters they made a joke about something being lucky, like something lined up perfectly. It was the tunnels system being straight under the barracks that the kids were being kept in.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that's lucky. And I was thinking, this entire thing has been lucky. Half of
Yeah.
your main mechanic to your plans is Will, the plot showing Will through his mind stuff to move them forward. Does that make sense? Like revealing.
Which they
time after
earned
time.
that plot point, I think. They did.
I'm saying the
They
way
had
it
the whole
happens,
show-
the way they do it, is just, I remember
They did earn that.
That's what I meant by, I don't know what's gayer, is Will's role in this or him being gay. You know what I mean?
I think
I
it would have been
and-
more interesting to keep going with the plot line that, like, is Will actually a part of the hive mind? And he's just like a sleeper cell agent. That would have been cooler, in my opinion.
They don't do.
Nope.
Part of me was
Nope.
thinking ever since the beginning, it's like, is he going to be Vecna's secret weapon this whole time?
That would have been really interesting. No, listen.
Well, it depends on how you do it.
Are you ready to
Because I
hand it
thought it
off
was
to me?
going that way, and I wouldn't have trusted him to do it. But it sounds like that didn't even cross their mind. He just has his hero moment where he's another 11, and then it stops there.
He's cooler than 11, I will say, because 11
Yeah.
is a woman.
Well, they're both.
Even the gay guy is cooler than the woman.
It's just this season. It's so easy to, like, her breaking into that fortress in episode 4. Like, I don't know if you remember this far back. It feels so awkward. Like, even her entire role this season is so cringe.
Yeah.
I'm training. It's just
I've been training.
run it back, Papa.
Papa, run that.
Papa,
that.
run it back. And he's like, Elle, I can't understand you. The way your
Oh,
lips are.
I'm not gonna let you go on the crawl.
What did I say
My
about
daughter
not
died.
using your head, Elle? The way he talks, dude.
It's my fault.
You're not thinking straight.
My dad sucked.
You know who isn't thinking straight either, Elle?
I'm smarter
Is Will Byers,
than you,
Elle. My daughter was the bravest person I ever.
My daughter was the bravest person I know. My dad sucks.
I can't lose you too, L.
I'm gonna kill myself.
L. I'm
gonna blow myself up.
I just want
in
you
the
to
upside
know
down.
I'm not kamikazing myself to save you guys. I'm just sick of this. And Marvel's paying me a ton of money to be in Avengers Doomsday. I need to get out of
I
here.
am done.
I'm gonna kill
Freaking
myself.
show, dude.
It'd be funny if when he found the Indian girl, he just did it anyway.
Dude, freaking Kali, dude.
He's like, oh. By the way, this is so stupid to reintroduce her. Here's the thing. I knew who that was. I'm like, oh, it's her.
Yeah.
Like when I saw her, but they even had the flashback, which doing a flashback to season 2
It's bad writing.
was a bad idea.
a
They
bad
showed how ugly she was in
Dude.
season 2. Her ugly haircut.
Oh my gosh.
She was so awful. And dude, scene made me laugh out loud of her getting it's
Up
the
on
whole
that thing, I don't know if you see later, or if you saw later. She is like 4 foot something. She's so
No,
tiny.
she's short.
She's so tiny.
Dude, Millie Bobby Brown's taller than her now.
There's a scene.
She was like supposed to be way younger than her.
There's a
right?
scene where in the final episode where they're all like doing like a hero walk kind of thing, and I go, "Who is that little boy on the right?" And I go, "Oh, Frank, that's Kali."
Who's the little Indian
Frank,
boy
dude.
in all white on the left?
Dude. No, she was wearing a jacket at that point, but that's why I thought it was like a little boy. I'm like, who is that? I go, is that Lucas?
Does she do
Is that young
anything?
Lucas?
Does she do anything that she necessarily would have to do? She probably uses mind powers or whatever.
Yeah.
But my point being is like, did you need to be here, or did they just feel like they had to justify
All right.
your
Hold on.
existence?
Can
in
I get into
season
the final
2?
episode now? Can I
Well,
get
can I
into-
get to a couple more things?
Yeah,
just
go
so I don't forget. Like I said, it's just overall thing that I've noticed, and it's partially why I stopped. Not only for the sake of time, like time better spent literally doing anything else,
Right.
but just because I knew I don't like. Let me. Could I read what I wrote down just
Yeah.
before we get to the end?
Yes.
Sort of my conclusion.
Yeah. Read your conclusion.
Episode 5. I get through about 4 notes. One of them was the Indian girl starts crying when they're shaving her ugly mohawk off. She like, it's a whole scene of her crying. Oh, it was so funny. There's nothing inherently wrong with
I
that.
wouldn't
It's
cry
just-
if someone was
There
shaving my
is. It's the
mohawk
fact
off.
that we're doing this at all when they've wasted so much potential already.
So much
Giving
potential.
any.
What are you
giving-
talking about,
no,
dude?
wasting like of the show so far.
I
all
thought
their
you
elements.
meant
It's like
of
literally
Kali's
spending
character.
30 seconds with this Indian girl, whatever her name was, is is detrimental to what you should be covering right now. But then again, even if she wasn't in the show, it's still fricked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway, I get a few notes down before I just noted I give up. I don't think I finished episode
read it?
5.
Can I see
I got
it?
to a breaking. Like I just say I give up.
I see.
There's a lot of
Oh,
freaking.
you went wild, bro.
Yeah. It's part of giving up. So,
his notes just
all right,
drop off.
this is what I wrote down. You can't tell me, like this, like after I finished and gave up on 5, you can't tell me the dialogue is gonna be fixed, the dumb plot points are gonna become sensible, or the awful side plots and useless characters become relevant for the overall show in the next 8 episodes. You can't tell me those issues you can't tell me that gets fixed. You can't tell me that this isn't going to be something that continues for the next 8 hours. Why? Why would I stay? You know what I mean? I've seen enough, if that makes sense. And this kind of goes to another thing. Just a little thought. Let me take you back. All right.
Take me back.
Do you remember when the show was about finding a missing child?
Yes.
You remember when
It
the
was a
show
long
was
time
about
ago.
starting to dip into the supernatural, where they didn't have to explain much?
Right.
Like I knew this when going into season 4 when I heard things about it. Like we're going back a few years now. I remember thinking, it's like, are they starting to do like a thing of like, oh, it was all like explaining everything, or like, oh, it was all part of the plan. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was Whenever I think of who Vecna is, even in season 4, I think of the landlord from Smiling Friends. For you see, the landlord, was the mastermind the entire time. Everything that happened over you in the last
6
48
months.
hours has been carefully orchestrated by me and my insane mind.
And then he just wants to play video games, right? That's all he wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do. He's like, why didn't you?
It
just
all
ask
cost me
to
over
play video games?"
$800,000 and 6 months of
Can you
planning.
please do an Alan
Using
impression?
paid actors and animatronics. All
it.
to make this one simple request. Okay, what's the request?
Okay.
I
what's
just
the
want to smoke
request?
weed and drink diet soda and play Burnout Revenge on the PS2.
Dude, it's so
I love
funny.
Smiling Friends.
Dude,
Anyway,
I saw someone completely nerd out in the comments of that clip going, when they filmed this, they actually used an, like an analog PlayStation, whatever, blah, 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 and they recorded it and then put it on. It was,
well, yeah, you'd have to for games like that.
Bro,
yeah.
who? Never mind. I don't mean who.
Well, yeah, it's fun.
I
and you
haven't.
imagine
No,
they do
it is
stuff like
fun.
that in the show.
It sounded like I was. I'm like, I was saying who puts the effort in
Yeah.
to make a comment like that, and it's like someone who really likes that stuff. So
yeah.
I mean, I'm
like,
not making fun of it. It's just like it's one of those things. It's like
when you let internet people make.
it's like
an
when I
adult,
see chainsaw stump art. I'm like, dude, who in the world puts time into something like this? And
Yeah.
it's like someone who really, because it's sick. It's a bear. It's a bear.
Well, it's when you give you give like animation YouTubers a show. They bring a lot of energy that
Yeah.
like YouTubers do.
This is why
to it.
YouTube is the future, dude.
It's to be fair,
It's
one of the funniest companies out there that's being made
nearly
is
unregulated.
literally a simple
entertainment.
Goobers show. The mechanic of Smiling Friends is Goobers.
Yeah.
That's all they need to make us entertained. And then
I know.
also Zach Hadel making funny noises. But my point, there's more to it than that. But like, core of it is what makes it funny there. Dude, Alan's so good though. I love Alan. Alan, Gleb, Pim. Sorry, I'm talking about Smiling Friends now. Dude,
Yeah,
I
we
need
could
to
do-
watch.
we
I
could-
want to watch season 3 so bad.
You know, we could do a Smiling Friends
We gotta watch.
review,
Season 3.
like we did with the Transformers movie. We could just watch one episode.
But yeah, it's and like
That'd be so funny.
one thing that stood out a lot about season 1 is not only the way they treated the Demogorgon. You had one monster,
Yeah.
one really effective monster.
Yeah.
You had your one really good solid character, Steve, that felt like it's kind of a
Missed
thing of like you have your
opportunity.
character who the quote unquote is the jerk that you semi relate to, that has their moment of like, you know what I mean, you're solid, whether it's a sacrifice or something like that. It always works. It's a good mechanic to have.
Yeah.
His is one of the most effective ones ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He comes in swinging to
Can
save
I-
the day, like literally.
I know.
You imagine they'd want to try and replicate that as much as they can for the rest
know.
of the show. That's literally gold. That is
So
lightning
can
in
I
a
get
bottle.
into? Can I get into the final episode?
Could like just a couple more things?
Yeah.
Is that fine?
Yeah.
Just everyone
Eventually,
in season
though, I
one.
have to- I do
Everyone
have to
in
talk about
season
it.
one. Yeah. Everyone in season 1 had something to do.
Yeah.
One, because you had somewhat of a narrow list
Jonathan
of characters.
was taking perverted pictures.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Nancy.
that was something to do. One of my notes while I was listing all like the good things about the original seasons was Nancy was in it, I guess.
And Nancy was
I
in
guess
it.
Nancy was in season 1. She didn't change. Same issues. Joyce had a lot. Like that was the only time Joyce has kind of ever been relevant. And she was good. She was like the main character.
I don't know if you noticed. Do you see
you remember
the
that?
amount of makeup Winona Ryder is wearing in
Yeah.
season 5?
Well, she's just there, the whole season, and it's like you used
She
to
does
be.
get a sick scene.
You used to be the
She
main
gets her
character
rip-
of the
she
show.
gets her big moment in the last episode. I'll get into that.
But do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
she wouldn't guess that by what everyone's doing in this
Yeah.
show of who used to be your central characters
Yeah.
anymore. I don't know, dude. Anyway, I'm kind of finished up there. I don't need to be saying these things out loud. You know what I mean? Like everyone kind of knows. It's like these falls from grace are simple enough.
Dude.
Like I don't need to explain why the other thing was good to explain why the other thing's bad, especially since by itself season 5's not good,
no,
but comparison doesn't help it either. But at the same time, it's riding off of, I was thinking this, the only reason I cared about a lot of the payoffs is because of things I've seen in prior seasons, whether it's season 4 or earlier, you know what I mean? That's the only reason I cared about those moments. Everything leading up to it in the actual season was fodder. If anything, it hurt. It hurt it a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, the government's plan was to kidnap every child in Hawkins and use them as bait.
Dude, the
No one
government-
opposed to that. No parents were like, no,
Linda
you're not taking
Hamilton?
my child.
Dude, Linda Hamilton.
That-
Ready?
Oh, yeah. One of
Wait,
my
wait.
notes was if they don't
In the
explain
last
why
episode?
every parent in Hawkins let them
last
take
episode,
their
dude?
children to a government base with a portal to hell,
I know.
then I'm going to get a Netflix subscription and then unsubscribe from it.
Yeah. Dude, literally.
Which I
Linda
need to do that
Hamilton-
because they
Hold
don't
on.
explain that, so I need to get that done sometime today. Is
In
get
the
a
last
Netflix
episode,
subscription and then unsubscribe.
Linda
from it.
Hamilton is just like gone.
Oh,
The government, like the plot point, like they're in the last episode. Linda Hamilton's in it,
to be goons,
and then
fodder.
when nobody, she doesn't even become fodder. She just kind of like shows up somewhere to like start something, and then they like get away, and she's like, oh, we gotta get those kids. Literally never makes another
gotta get
another
those
appearance.
kids.
Just gone. She's just gone. It's like if the Russians in season 3, right? Like you started a plot point, and then like Robin and Steve get away, and they're in that bathroom or whatever, and they have her coming out scene or something, and then the Russians just like, I don't remember exactly when that scene happens, but imagine like they just kind of walked away from where the Russians are hanging out, and then the show completely moves on.
Forgets the Russians.
Forgets the Russians are even
That's
there.
funny.
Like literally at the end of the last episode, they all get caught and arrested. And then they do an 18-month time jump. Nothing.
That's par for the course of the
Hopper
show.
doesn't go to jail for murdering soldiers.
It's par for the course of this show. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I believe you
He's back to
wholeheartedly.
being a cop in Hawkins. Everyone's back to doing what they normally do when,
yeah, they
according
didn't
to
even
the
deal with
government,
the fallout. They didn't even deal with the fallout of wait, you were dead.
whether or not
You were-
like, the
you were
government
in
was
Russia?
acting rogue, like this branch of the government was going rogue or whatever,
Yeah.
they still killed U.S. soldiers. Like Nancy opened fire with an automatic rifle and just wasted guys.
Well, I noticed that when they started killing, like I was thinking about it. It's like there's
This
cases
is
where it's
do
like
or die.
self-defense. Like Millie Bobby Brown. Sorry, 11. She's
See how we
sneaking
can't
into the fort.
we can't
Yeah,
separate.
yeah.
Yeah. The whole point of acting is that you are no longer you and you become a character.
Even though everyone knows you from that character, and
Yeah.
yet you still somehow detached yourself from that, you know you're doing something wrong. Anyway.
it's tough, bro.
Anyway, this guy,
a
because
tough
she
life.
messes up her stealthy plan, a guy spots her and she goes, sorry, and snaps his neck. And I remember thinking, that's, like, I get the point is you've been killing these guys, but it's usually been in self-defense.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I remember it being a little shocking. I was like, oh, this is the little girl from season 1. You
Yeah,
know
but
what I
she was
mean?
doing some crazy stuff in season 1 too, like killing people.
Well, yeah, but the point being, it was like under like a weird umbrella of like, well, to be fair, those were
she's a child,
definitively
like a little
bad people.
child, and she doesn't understand.
These could just be grunts. You know what I mean? They make a point about it in season 5. It's like, no, you're not just a grunt. You know what I mean? You know things, which means you know what I mean? Which means you're guilty, which means you know what we want you to, like,
Okay.
you know what we need.
I have to get into the
Giving
fake outs.
reverence to the fact that other people are just foot soldiers.
I have to talk about the.
They're
fake
getting
out
their
deaths.
heads stomped in, dude. You know what I mean?
I'm not kidding. There's like 5 or 6 fake out deaths where they go, no. Someone's about to for sure die. Last second, someone's.
Yep.
Literally happens so many times. So the
Can you-
first big one, the first 5 minutes of the new episode, the last episode, they're up on top of the tower, the metal, and Steve falls off of it. He falls.
No.
And he's holding on by 2 fingers. Let's go. Falls like 5
Jonathan
feet.
catches him.
Everyone, no. Literally, everyone, Dustin goes, no. Then the screen, Steve is falling, right? And then the screen goes black.
End of an episode?
No. It shows Jonathan grabbing his hand.
I knew it was Jonathan. I knew it.
Dude, Jonathan, and then pulls him back up. Now,
Frick
I
Jonathan
actually,
too.
I was like,
he's like little Nancy.
it was
frick
a cool
Jonathan.
scene in that everyone who was watching, I was watching the show with, went, no, no, no. And then we were like, yes, yes. So
It's like-
but one fake out death is understandable.
Well,
Then we
especially when
get-
it's the only only person that people still care about. You know what I mean?
Then we get a fake out death where Nancy is fighting the Mind Flayer. The physical form Mind Flayer, right?
Another one?
No, but this is the ultimate big
Oh.
one.
Okay.
That's what, and Vecna and the Mind Flayer are one basically. Like he's inside of the Mind Flayer.
Oh, does the Mind Flayer go, no, fool, no man can kill me.
But
then Nancy with her
to be
freaking
fair-
shotgun goes, I am no
to be
man.
fair though, the Mind Flayer doesn't mess around, as in like, because they go into Dimension X and they're all there. Nancy looks like Rambo with machine guns, and then the Mind Flayer is a kaiju, like a full-on kaiju, and which was awesome was it's far away, but it immediately starts going full like, dude, I'm just gonna clap all these kids. They're just in a field right now. And it really tries to smash all of them. Comes and it's boom, 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 like earthquakes and blah.
This sounds like a boss arena. That's
Listen,
what
listen,
it
I
sounds
know,
like.
I know.
Is
I
that
know.
how the show
But
ends?
he really does try. It's not
Dodge
one of
the-
those things where
dodge
it's
the
moving
slam
slow.
attacks.
Yeah, yeah,
Dodge
yeah.
the slam
Here
attacks.
It comes. Roll out of the. It actually is trying really hard, and like misses like one time, and then when the final blow comes, 11 comes and pulls.
Do
it
they
away.
say? Do they do any more Dungeons and Dragons tisms to be like? This is
Not really.
We need to put. This is how we're gonna know what this
No, they
plan
don't, no,
is.
they actually don't.
All
But
right.
listen, Nancy gets trapped in a canyon.
That was my
and
Dustin
it's-
impression, by the way.
She's shooting it, right? And she gets to the end of the canyon, runs out of ammo, and it's just like, and it's literally this close to her face, about to just, like the mouth of it, but the mouth is huge. It's like the size of the house back there, like huge. And then Jonathan from above shoots it with a flamethrower. Dude, like so many fake out deaths. We're like,
This sounds like
Steve should have died.
This sounds like season.
Nancy
3.
should have 100% died.
Do you remember in season 3 when they're in
11
the
has a
mall?
fake out death
Yeah,
where she dies,
Harry.
right? And the show ends, you think she dies. Then you realize, oh no, her sister did the phase like
Yeah.
astro projection,
It was.
and
oh my
11
word.
got away and started a new life away from Hawkins.
It sounds like I did.
Hiding from the
It
government.
sounds like I made a proper prediction, as in, like, signing out.
Steve
sort of.
never gets the girl.
Steve never get.
You know what? Steve,
I assumed that.
Steve
I
becomes-
assumed they're not going to give Steve,
Steve
proper
becomes a
amends.
teacher at Hawkins High
Frick.
or whatever. He becomes a teacher, and he
In
is
what?
also the gym teacher.
Jim. Okay.
Gym,
Jim's
and then
fine.
he teaches sex ed. And then,
That's kind of fun.
and then Robin does have a good joke. She goes, "Well, if I get an STD, I know who to talk to." And he goes, "What do you mean by that?" like what? So, anyways,
Was that her reveal to him?
no, no, that's funny though.
Look, a semi thing with the show. At least semi the gay.
Jonathan becomes a
semi with the gay
like-
characters. Is there like part of it is tied into not the fact that they're gay. I hate how it takes up in the narrative, but like at least is semi feels real. Is like where they're like feel a need to like not hide themselves.
Yeah.
What's the word? Hey, there's like a level of realism to that, but at the same time, I don't like it. Like
Yeah.
how much of a forefront it is. Him and Will and Robin get so many scenes together, and you know why. You know why.
They're
It's
both-
literally
they're
part
both
of it.
fags, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Oh no. And what was I gonna say? Sorry. Dude. I don't know, dude. I just
Will moves out of Hawkins and goes to school. Meets a boy at a gay bar.
this sounds like a
Jonathan
This sounds like a
becomes a-
joke.
I know,
It's
I
like
know.
they fight a giant mind flare. Steve doesn't get the girl. Everyone lives at the end. They did 5 fake out
Literally
deaths.
everyone survives.
Will finds a boyfriend at a gay bar. I feel like you're making this up.
Oh, one of the fake out deaths was Collie dies.
Holly?
Collie.
Collie.
The sister dies in front of you, and then later it shows her she was actually alive.
Wait, Collie? You
That's
mean
her name.
Holly?
No, Collie. The sister, 11's sister.
Oh,
We
that
literally had a
one.
full-on conversation about her. Kali, she dies, and then it turns out she didn't die. 11 dies.
Oh,
Turns out
no.
11 didn't die.
Oh no.
Steve almost dies, but he doesn't actually die.
Okay, that one's
Nancy should have
actually-
died.
oh,
She
no.
gets saved last second.
Frick
Dude,
Nancy.
Frick Nancy.
Frick Nancy.
Um,
Can we call it this episode that? No. We're gonna call it. We're gonna.
no,
do
we're
the
not
fake
gonna
out.
call
We're
the
gonna.
episode Frick Nancy. We're
I
not.
want to though, but no. We're gonna
We're
call
not
it. We're gonna call it best season yet. We're gonna call it that.
Wait. Okay. Let me finish.
Wait.
this
Can we do our thumbnail
No.
poses for the clickbait very quick? Here. Wait. Stranger. Frick. Frick this show, dude.
Yeah, frick that show. Jonathan becomes an independent film director.
Because Steven Spielberg.
I know. Yeah, actually, they're kind of hinting to that.
I want to throw something.
Max and Lucas end up together, obviously. Dustin, there's kind of a cool. He's the valedictorian at their graduation. There's a graduation ceremony scene. Dustin goes up there because he's the smartest kid who's graduating and gives
That
the
actually
speech.
seems like it would be a good payoff. Is
Wait,
him,
wait, wait.
especially after everything with Eddie, and kind of like
No,
making
get this.
himself distant, like
Yeah.
like giving him this kind of moment to like almost. That actually
Redeem
sounds
himself,
like
yeah,
in a
yeah.
better show. That would be a good,
He-
good cap off for him. For Dustin,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
Yeah,
I think so.
They actually did. They did Dustin really good with this scene. So he's
Okay.
up there and he's like, "Guys, because this is true of all the high schoolers in Hawkins. We had a really bad senior year, right? Where all this terrible stuff." And he goes, "But something cool happened. The jocks became friends with the nerds." You know, he's talking about like Steve and him. Like he said, the guys, the cool guys, started hanging out with these guys. And it shows like characters who shouldn't be friends but are, like that they naturally ended up in the show. They do, he like just kind of, he goes, "We all grew closer together." And he goes, and then I forget how the speech goes exactly. He goes, "Live your lives, like blah, blah, blah. Don't let people tell you blah, blah, blah. People like this square back here," he points at the principal and says, "This square right here with his BS," right? He starts calling the principal, like, and he goes, he's like, "And you know what? Go against the system." And he rips his gown off. He's wearing the Hellfire Club shirt, takes his hat off, and he goes, grabs the mic, and he's like, "The Hellfire Club lives forever." And everyone goes, "Yeah!" in the crowd. And the principal grabs the mic and goes, "Shut up! Everybody sit down!" And then Dustin set up this whole thing for cannons to shoot confetti. Like,
Oh my
it was
gosh.
actually kind of sick. And he's,
Didn't everyone at the school think
yeah.
that the Hellfire Club was full of freaks though?
I know, but the point is, because it does the time jump,
Yeah.
after the conclusion, there's a prologue. And there's an 18-month gap where they live their senior year.
They made a statue for Eddie
No,
in the middle
but
of Times Square or in the
um,
middle of Town Square.
Times Square.
My bad.
It shows Dustin goes off to school, and him and Steve are still best friends. Like, it shows Steve coming and picking up Dustin from college so that they can go on a camping trip.
I had the.
Steve
I had
just
the.
becomes like, you know what? Steve just kind of like becomes like Billy. Billy, you know, my boss Billy.
No, I was thinking
Like,
Billy from the
he,
show
like,
for a second. My
His
bad.
thing is like baseball, right? You know what I mean? Like community stuff. Like really into the community, into like baseball games and like all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Kind of like, and he's like, you know, obviously he
I
like
heard-
wants kids.
Yeah.
But there's a scene where Steve and Jonathan have a conversation that's actually pretty interesting. People complained about it, but I thought it was interesting, where they talk about how they both fumbled the bag with Nancy. It's actually a funny scene.
You can fumble that bag anytime you want.
I know. No. The point is, Steve's like, "Bro, I don't even know really where I went wrong." And then Jonathan goes, because they were talking about where Jonathan said, "Yeah, you told Nancy that you want 6 little nuggets, like kids." And he goes, "I don't know what I went wrong with Nancy." And Jonathan goes, well, first of all, calling them nuggets is not the greatest move. Like, there's like, it was a scene that was actually pretty funny.
That sounds like a funny string. At least the Nuggets.
The
thing.
whole, but the problem with the Steve and Jonathan thing is that they're kind of forcing narratively them to be enemies when I don't
Yeah.
think that the chemistry doesn't work.
Well,
with them
realistically,
being-
Jonathan would have gotten. I was about to say, I was not a bad word, but something relevant to a friend of ours recently. But he
Wow.
would have been out of the picture very soon. Like, realistically, I think. I don't think it would have
Who?
stuck around.
Who?
Jonathan. He's like a crackhead loser.
Who are you talking about?
Hmm? No, forget it. I'm not going to say anyone out
I'm
loud.
like, okay. But
To be fair, I'm not being fair to that person either. I'm just saying
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how
yeah.
that's the treatment that would be given to him. The
Yeah.
person in real life didn't deserve, like, that's kind of unfair, but like at the same time, it's
Yeah.
like, you're dealing
Um,
you're dealing with a Nancy type of person. You got to expect it. But
are
for
you
some
are
reason,
you a
Nancy's
Nancy?
still with him?
Are you Nancying me right now? That's crazy.
Well, to be fair,
The
she
only
sticks
I
around
had
with
this
him
thought.
because
The only breakout actor from that show, actress, who has a relevant career coming out of Stranger Things. I'm not counting Hopper's character because that's
Yeah.
an obvious one.
I know who you're gonna say.
Sadie Sink.
Is that the girl who plays Max?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Well,
Sadie
she's
Sink
she's
has
gonna be in
Marvel
she's gonna
stuff
be in
coming
Brand New
up.
Day.
She is in other movies that were very successful movies coming out of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Because she's a decent actress.
You know who she's playing? She's Jean Grey. She's gonna be Jean Grey in the MCU now.
Jean Grey.
See,
Like,
what's her name?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, and she's probably gonna do pretty well at that, if I'm being
Well,
honest.
to be fair, she's a pull. Like we were talking about, like me and Eddie were talking. I think it was me and Eddie were talking about. It's like how much some of these kids like. This show is they're popular in this show, but this is their ecosystem. The
I
moment the
know,
show
I
stops,
know.
they're done. I'm sorry. Even people like Dustin, it's like, sorry, you're not doing anything
Yeah,
else.
he's
You're not.
clapped.
Maybe Lucas.
He's cooked.
Maybe the guy who plays Lucas has a
No,
chance somewhere
no.
else. But he'll always be Lucas.
Joe Keery has he actually can go the music route.
Yeah.
Like, actually can do that.
Well, he can be in other things.
He's
He's
he can be
acting.
in other movies. He did well in what was that movie?
Free guy.
Free Guy. He was actually really great in that.
Yeah,
Because
check
I
it,
didn't
sorry.
feel like.
Well, he was just
Steve.
playing
He didn't
Steve.
feel no.
little
To
bit.
me, no. To me, no. He was more of like an unconfident, like, I don't know.
Someone that I watch put it best with Steve overall is like it's hard not to root for Steve when it feels like he's winning a fight against the plot.
Yeah.
Like unintentionally, that's something the filmmakers do to make you really like them. But at the same time, they're like, yeah, because we're doing him such good service. And I was like, no, it's because you're giving him the most unfair cards. Yet he's still such a strong. You know what I mean? Like he still is like.
He's so
I'll say a
strong.
lot of things about how they treat Steve, but at least they give Steve like somewhat of the comeback with everything that gets thrown at him. Because at the same time, there's still the shell. At least there's still the resemblance of a character of like someone who would actually have these reasonable reactions to all this stuff.
I want
I
to say
don't know,
one more
dude.
thing. One thing that they did very, very well. And it was fan service. It was arcs. It was a completed thing, and it felt right watching it. And you were like, yes.
How long are we on at, by the way?
An hour and 10 minutes now.
Sweet. Okay, let's
Sweet.
keep going.
Hopper and Joyce. Actually, there's two things I want to say. Hopper and Joyce finally go to Enzo's, and at Enzo's, he's like, I got offered a job at a different police station. Like one of his army buddies or whatever who works there offered him 20% more pay. He said, let's get a house there and let's move away from Hawkins and be closer to their sons are, Will and what's his face are in two different cities, like up north. They're like, we're going to move right in the middle so that they can come and see us because they're only 30-minute drives away.
Yeah.
So, and she's like, yes, let's do it. And then he gets down on one knee and asks her to marry her, and they get married.
It's just nice to see.
Yeah, I know, but it was way sweeter than that. It was
Yeah.
so it was really good. And then another thing, at the end of the battle, right, that happened, Henry is dying, right? Like you think 11 kills him, right? And he's on a spike, right? Like
Who? Vecna?
Henry, yeah.
Henry, yeah.
And he's on the spike, and he's like the physical Vecna, Henry, whatever. And everyone thinks he's dead, but then at the last second, he starts going, and he looks over at Joyce, and he's like, and Joyce has a flashback of like everything terrible that happened with her,
yeah.
having to torture Will in season 2 because remember with the heat, like just every traumatic thing Joyce has been through in the show. Then it shows every character dying, Eddie dying, everyone who's dying, and then it plays the scene earlier in the episode where Henry says, "I could have resisted the mind flare, but I embraced it. I knew exactly."
The show reminding you is like, it's okay if we kill him right now.
Which
When
I
it's
think
like,
was a
well, yeah,
good
you don't
thing.
need to tell us
So
that he's evil.
Joyce literally comes over to Henry and starts beheading him slowly with an axe. Just, and everyone's like, and blood shooting everywhere, and he's going like, oh, and blood is.
They're very visceral about it.
Yes,
Oh.
and she's just beheading Vecna right there. So she gets the final blow.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
No, it was really cool.
But
that
like
was
I
cool.
said, this show's focus is payoffs.
if anyone
only
if
pay- you know
anyone
what I
earned
mean?
it, it was her.
That's
There's
what it
Nate.
feels like, at least.
Nate.
It's been poverty since you were gone, Harry.
It's been a tough watch.
Harry. It's been a tough
We have to make this quick because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to take a dump, dude.
I
I'm prairie
can I
dogging over here.
I swear I'm gonna go somewhere with this, and
Okay,
I
all right.
keep bringing this show up, and I'm sorry, but
It's okay.
like there is a reason. Let me intro it this way. I'm glad Andor failed. Here's why. Andor failing kept it in a place where it was able to end and wrap up in a satisfying way.
In
It
a
didn't
nice little
continue
package.
going on and whimpering because it's that very, like, what's it called? Like, the fact that it had to be semi-closed off the way they did
It
is
didn't
like,
have a chance to be pathetic.
it didn't have a chance to be interfered and be pathetic. Yes.
Yeah.
It didn't, like, and I think that's part of just the truth of what happens to some of these things that become cultural pillars. Stranger Things is a prime example of that.
Yeah.
Just going on and
Just taking over.
Like whimper's the word that comes to mind this season so far. Is like we're going out this way, and it's so annoying. Think of how much more valuable it would have been if it left on a cliffhanger of 4, at least for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen the rest of it. Like, maybe there's some good stuff to cap it off there, but it doesn't fix any of the other things. I don't know, dude. But, like, Andor is, like, it was dealt bad cards. Even with season 2, it's like, you need to be doing a ton of time jumps this season because you're running out of time. Like, it was dealt the worst cards. It's like, your show underperformed. It was too expensive to continue. You get one more season. And, like I said, the time jumps. Yet they still pulled through and made a really satisfying ending for a side character of a prequel spin-off.
I'm literally about to poop myself.
That's fine. I'm sorry. I'll let you
It's
go.
okay. It's okay.
But my point being, and then you contrast that with one of the biggest shows, like one of the only like cultural events left, as in like everyone's tuned in. You can go. It's fine.
I need to poop so bad.
I'm sorry.
All
But
right.
you don't want to.
Yeah,
you
I know what
agree?
you're saying.
It's just, and it makes you think. It's like, is it our fault? Is it
And this
because
is-
we gravitate around this stuff that it becomes? You know what I mean? Whereas if season 1 was just like a little niche show and stayed that way,
Yeah.
and like stayed as
Yeah.
that one solid show of think of Firefly. People look back at Firefly so well. I gotta watch that someday. But no one goes, yeah, Firefly was good the first few seasons and then really dropped off. It's like, no. They had one good season of television that everyone looks back at and remembers as, you know what, that was good. At least the people that saw
You know
it.
what's the great thing about this show is that we can talk about whatever we want next week.
That's true. I don't want to talk about Stranger Things.
No, we don't have. My point is though, just because we're done with this video doesn't mean that we're.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, sad, disappointing season. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw
Yep.
enough. Harry, overall thoughts. How many testicles? Sorry, how many balls do you give it?
Zero testicles. I'm
Zero
going
balls. Okay.
Zero, no
Personally, I
balls.
give it -1 balls.
All right.
All right.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.